Okay, right. Now, this is the last of the academic sessions, and as you know, some of you have started thinking a little bit more about your subject combinations. The conversations with Harvey, I think, were really useful because a lot of you referred to Harvey's advice and to the emails. It's really, really, really important. There are only about 30 of you in this session, some perhaps sharing a computer. Really important that you look out for my emails and that you get in touch with me if there is any problem. Because what we're doing at the moment is trying to build the timetable, and you will understand that not every subject can be available in any combination. So sometimes you will have to make choices, there will be priorities, and I need to know what's in your mind. So look out for those emails. The other one, which is a conversation, is the recommendation from the English department. So those recommendations may sometimes not be the same as your choice. So again, I need to talk to you about that and find out what we do. So that's the first thing. Secondly, I'm hoping that the meetings with Harvey for this afternoon, that you've had the invitations. If you've not had them yet, you will get them. Participate, really important to get everything set up. Now, you might be wondering what's going to happen on Monday. And we will have a timetable, and it will appear on something called ManageBac, and you will see it there. We don't quite know when we will have finished all those choices, so it might well be that that doesn't actually appear until Sunday, perhaps even Sunday afternoon, but don't worry, you will have a timetable. So Monday morning, classes start. Some of you have asked, but can I still change subjects? The answer to that one is you can within the timetable options. So you might not find that all the combinations are still possible, but we will try and jiggle things around and make you have that combination that you really want. Okay. Now, the first question is, I know that at least one person has already accessed ManageBac. Does everybody know what ManageBac is for? Okay. Yes, Javier, come on, tell us.
Yeah, it's a platform where you basically keep track of all your IB stuff, all your subjects, everything, your deadlines, assignments, your TOK, CAS, extended essay, everything.
Javier, what's the difference to Google Classroom?
Google Classroom, I personally find it better since it's less crowded, but I don't know what others would say about that.
But Javier, are you aware of a difference between ManageBac and Google Classroom?
Well, not like word by word. I'm not aware of it.
Okay, so we have failed on that one. Javier is, sorry, not Javier, ManageBac, not Javier. ManageBac is an organizational platform. So ManageBac is where you find your reports. ManageBac is where you find the grades for your assessment. ManageBac is where your timetable is. ManageBac is where you upload coursework. So anything that is assessed by the IB is uploaded on ManageBac, and there we can do a authenticity check. Authenticity check, we'll talk about that later. That's a whole different area. But ManageBac is the center of all the information about assessment, okay? So assessment of work that you upload, assessment of your assignments in class, and ManageBac is also the place where you can find unit plans. So in your subjects, Every teacher makes a plan for the term, and on ManageBac you can see what's coming. Not perhaps in that much detail, but it will be there in some overview. There are also sections where you can find subject guides from the IB, all sorts of useful stuff, but it's a little bit dry. Now, Google Classroom, Jabir, come on, back to you. You're the only second year I can currently see. What do you do on Google Classroom?
That's where we submit assignments and we are assigned work. I mean, it's specifically for our academics. There's no other, at least, I don't think there's any other purpose to Google Classroom rather than having assignments and stuff like that.
And stuff like that?
Whereas in ManageBac, like as you said, you have IB reports, authenticity checks. Google Classroom doesn't allow that. It's just for submitting assignments.
Yeah. It's for teaching. So you can summarize Google Classroom. The classroom is for teaching, and the assessment part is ManageBac. So Google Classroom has a nice sort of dialogue function. I can post things in a stream, those of you who've already seen it. Did you do Google Classroom yesterday? No? Okay. I can show you a little bit in a minute. But there's materials, easy to see on the top of the page. You get notifications when your teacher posts something. You can submit very easily your assignments. There's a feedback function. So it's all pretty straightforward and nice to manage. A question? Yes.
Are ManageBac and Google Classroom compatible? So are they, can you switch from one to the other, or are they separate? So do you have to log in separately?
That is a very good question. You're talking to somebody who's not a techno geek. The answer is yes, they are compatible in the sort of, technical way, but I don't know how that works. So I teach my class, Jabir's in that, so I know I could ask them that question. I teach them on Google Classroom. But when I give them grades and I give them any kind of report or something, then that will be on ManageBac. Okay, right. So now I have a task for all of you. You have been sent a welcome email by ManageBac when I uploaded your names. Can you check your email accounts for something from ManageBac? Go into your school email and in the search box, type ManageBac, and then tell me if something comes up. Do it in the chat or do it in the, no? Okay. Then you have to wait a minute. The password is not the same. You will have to make your own, and I will have to send you that email now. So that will take me a minute or two because I have to find the right page. School directory, and then I need to go into, okay, let me find the right year group. Yep, quite a few of you have actually accessed. Oh no, sorry, that's different. This is the students and IB diploma, class of 22, right. Okay, I have clicked send, so something should now appear in your inbox. Yeah, excellent. So if you open that email, then you will find a link to log into ManageBac. And I don't quite know what that email says, but you will be asked to create a password. This might be your question now. The password They want you to find a strong password because this is sensitive information. That means 2 uppercase letters, big ones. I'll type that in the chat. 2 uppercase. Oops. And I'll just put SS for, no, that's not a good one. Let's put AA as an example. And then 1 symbol. That could be and at least 2 numbers. Okay, so try if you can log in, please. Excellent, good. 1 thumbs up. Okay, Aris, well done. B, excellent. Okay, Shayla. No rush, no need to get confused. Okay, Soria's laptop, whoever gave the thumbs up sign, great. Yeah, it's a bit fiddly, I know. They did give me the option of allowing easy passwords, but I thought it's better to be safe because this could be stuff that is a bit sensitive. Okay, great. I'm going to share my screen in a moment. Mine is different from yours. I tried to create a dummy account as a student, but that didn't work because I don't have a different email account from the one I'm using anyway. So I'll need to show you mine, and then you get an idea of what it will look like once you have started the timetable and everything. So what I haven't yet mentioned is that ManageBac is also the place where you add your CAS reflections. Armine talked about that in her meeting. She said that the evidence that we need for what you're doing in CAS will be your reflections. So that is one of the pages that I can show you in a moment. So I'll share my screen and then we'll see what I can do. Share entire screen. Excellent. Right, that's now presenting, and I'm going into ManageBac. This is my ManageBac page, so you can see I have just sent the welcome emails. And what I have here on the side is a legend with all sorts of symbols. So I'm not quite sure if you can see the same one. But you might be able to see this particular one. Once you have your subjects uploaded, you will automatically see an overview of everything that is going on. So your teachers might have entered something into the ManageBac calendar, so you will immediately see what is due this particular week. Here we have somebody submitting, ooh, it says 8 a.m. diagnostic test on statistics and probability. with a time. 9 a.m. notes on transtextuality representation, Ostertext, that's English. So you can see when I hover over it, all the details come up. So it's really easy to find out what's going on. There's also an overview of the ManageBac calendar, the different events that are coming up this week, and something on overview, so you can scroll through and you can see what's been going on. So that's the dashboard at the top. There's also your mentor group. In this case, it's, I don't know if you will see that because that's for teachers to take attendance, but that is also one of the areas where you can actually check what's going on. Then there is all sorts of things here. Here, for example, if I look into this, I can see an overview of anything that you have been uploading here. It's all empty because you haven't started yet, but in Anantha's mentor group, I could see the videos you've uploaded, the websites, any reflections that you've put, so I can check activity on here. That's important for me because some of these things, for example, the reflections, will be part of your reports. So you can see it's a site that allows me to make sure that everybody is doing what they need to do. I'm now going into the year group, and that will be, I think, similar to what you will see later on. There's nothing there yet. You've only just logged on. But up here, I can see plans, CAS, extended essay, messages, calendar, files, and the members. I don't think you'll see that one. That's all your names. So if I go into CAS, I can see all the different mentor groups. You will not see those, but you will see your own CAS. And if I go into, I'll do that because I know there's nothing in there. If I go into ISIS CAS page, then I can see what I need for actually adding my CAS experiences. They seem to have added this video. I haven't seen that yet. That will be really useful for you to watch, only 3 minutes and 24 seconds. There is more here on the guide. And then there is an option here for notes and interviews. So if you want to send your CAS supervisor, your mentor, they're the same people, a note, you can write a note in here and you can post the note, and they will automatically get an email alerting them to this. Okay, quick start guide for CAS. These are examples of creativity. Not all, there's many more, but here you can see examples. Action, examples. If I go into experiences, then I get a guide as to what constitutes a CAS experience. So all of that is in the CAS handbook, but you could find it here as well. Now, up here at the top, you will find a button that is called Add CAS Experience. Okay, so you probably haven't got many experiences yet because some of you are still in quarantine, but I could imagine that some of you already know that they are going to play football once a week with people from their toon. So then you would want to add that as a regular experience. You would put football in here, and you would tick these boxes. It would be ongoing, it would be school-based, and it is not so much community-based unless you invite the local Dilijan students in to play with you. Community means the whole community, not just the school. So then you put a start date, not an end date, you don't need that. You would describe what it is. You would put a supervisor name, that's important, because the supervisor is the one who will check that you're actually doing it. So you need to find a teacher who is willing to do that. Armine will do that. And then you will select learning outcomes, and you will choose whether it is something direct, something indirect, whether it's creativity or activity or service. and then you will click add, and then it goes up. You can then add reflections once your supervisor has approved that particular activity, or your mentor has approved it. That was quite a lot of talking. Any questions? Yes, go ahead.
So I have two
Okay.
questions. So when we talked to Amine about the CAS, she also gave us an introduction to another website that a student had set up for us to record all of our. So are we putting it into both?
I haven't seen the website that Kani made yet, but I was under the impression that that was only an information website.
Okay. Well, it was. We could also log our things and upload our reflections on that one as well, if I understood correctly. Yeah.
Okay, I'll need to check with Amine. That's a surprise to me because my understanding was that we do that part on ManageBac. Because from ManageBac, we can upload it directly to the IB because they might want a sample from us. So I'll have to check.
Yeah. She explained it in a way that you can keep track of your activities or like all of your CASs, and she had the learning outcomes on there. So it was similar, but I just wasn't sure.
Okay, I'm not sure either because for me that sounds worryingly like doubling up unless Kani has found a way of linking it to ManageBac.
Sorry, one more question.
Yeah.
With the assignments and assessment tasks that are on ManageBac in our calendar, when we are given a task, do we put it in our calendar or will our teachers do that?
Teachers will do that. And you will find that teachers do it differently. For me, all my assignments are on Google Classroom. I don't use the ManageBac calendar so much. For other teachers, it's quite natural to use that, but that is really up to the teacher. The general thing is that you should be aware of the dates of bigger assignments in advance, but how your teachers communicate that might be different. But it's a good reminder. I could try and recommend that everybody uses ManageBac for the more important ones. Normal homework assignments wouldn't need to go up there necessarily. Another question. There's one.
Okay. I answer to Brianna's and then I'll tell mine. Okay.
Yeah, and Brianna, should we directly add ourselves into our classes once available? No, teachers will be doing it. Teachers will set up the classes.
Okay, so my question was like, will we have individual meetings with you, Sophie, or to discuss our subjects and our choices to tell our final decision, or a form will be done or something like that? What will
no, the idea is that the subject choices that you put in are currently being added by us to the timetable. Only when you have any different choices, when you want to make changes from what you originally submitted. Then
you mean by in the open apply, like in the first?
Yeah.
But so okay, I need to change.
Okay. So,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So.
Right. So let me send me an email, and then I will get in touch with you. Are you in the green zone?
Yeah, I'm in green zone.
Then you can just.
In the email, I'll just write my subjects that I want now, or just. Oh, okay.
Well, if you're in the green zone, just come to my office because I'm not going very far away from it at the moment.
So it's in academic building?
Academic building, ground floor. It is the, what do they call it? The river, is it the Atrium 1 or Atrium 2? I think.
Okay, I'll find it.
Yeah.
I'll find it.
The main entrance, my door is usually open when I'm not in a meeting, and you can just walk in. Okay.
Okay.
See you later. Right. Okay.
See you.
So I think that is, if I go back to ManageBac.
Brianna has another question.
Oh, sorry. Thanks for alerting me to that. Okay. How often do we need to write reflections? That's Misaki. The reflections, we talked about that in the meeting. There is no compulsory number, but what we want to see is development. So in the first 2 weeks of CAS starting, you would write a first reflection with your impressions. You would talk about things that worked, things that were disappointing, things that you plan to do in the future. And then to show some development, you would possibly 2 or 3 weeks later go back to that reflection, and then you would write about what has changed since then. You've now become more comfortable with what you're doing. You've learned a couple of skills. You might even write you're really bored and it's completely different from what you thought it would be. But the idea of the reflections is to encourage you to think about your role in that particular activity. So it's not like a diary where you write, we sort of ran up the hill at 10 o'clock and came down again at 11. That's boring. But we ran up the hill at 10 and I realized that I'm completely unfit. And I decided that now I want to do a little bit of training every morning in the gym to make myself run up the mountain more quickly. That would be a reflection.
Okay, so it's all up to us what we write.
Sorry?
Is it all up to us?
Yes, but
Okay.
your mentor will at some intervals check. And if you haven't written anything, then the mentor might say, wait a moment, this is not okay. You need to actually start writing what's going on or filming what's going on. We said it doesn't have to be written. It could be even a picture that you draw or a diagram or a cartoon. All that counts as a reflection. So the CAS advisor, your mentor, will have a formal interview with you after 3 or 4 weeks about the program that you have put together. So the idea is you're supposed to have a balanced program. So the advisor will say, wait a moment, you're only doing sports at the moment. What you're trying to do is also do something that is a service to the community. What could that be? Can we find something? Or you are really academic and you do debating and you do the focus group on refugees and you do slavery studies and you do, I don't know, something else, but you're not doing any sports at all. So then the thing is, if you don't like sports, perhaps you can do some walking, perhaps you can do weekend outings, hiking in the mountains. So that's the sort of conversation that you'll be having. How of New Year and Brianna, will formative sports be indicated when you be summative? This is not a class. You will not be given a grade. So assessment, those of you who don't know those terms, is divided into assessment for learning, which is formative, and assessment of learning, which is summative. In CAS, you don't get any grades, so there is no assessment. There are your reflections and there are the supervisor interviews. Okay.
Sophie,
Yeah.
could you just briefly explain how the CAS score contributes to our IB score?
There is no score.
Okay.
Okay. So the CAS is a requirement.
Yes.
So we have to assess at the end of the 2 years whether you have met the CAS requirements, the expectations. That means that you have ticked all the learning outcomes, that you have done regular service, that you didn't forget about service for a whole term, that the reflections make sense, that they are complete. And we have to check all of that, and there will be a final interview. And once that interview is completed, then we will tick the box and CAS is done.
Thank you. That makes a lot more sense. Thank you.
Okay. Right. So, has anybody got the link to Kani's website at their fingertips and could put it into the chat for me?
There is no link right now because the website is on development, as I've seen. Like, yeah, there is no link.
Okay, then I will talk to Arminia and find out what's going on. Ipsa, is that a hand? No. Okay. So, I think that is all from this end. I will just show you my Google Classroom. If I go into my, oops, you shouldn't see my emails. If I go into Classroom, can you see all my classes?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So the reason I have all of these classes is that sometimes colleagues want me to see what they're doing and then they will share with me. The only classes I actually teach are the TOK classes and the English Lang Lit classes, okay? So in the English Lang Lit, you will see your classes here on the first page. So here you will see on the first button, the assignment that is due on Monday. So that's a quick check. If there's anything that you need to do for tomorrow, you quickly go into this. And this would be my class stream, where I will post anything that I want my class to know. So sometimes there could be something, you can see I'm quite informal here. I just put ideas here sometimes, and sometimes it could be something I want them to read from a paper, a link. So I know that this will be delivered to students by email immediately, so that they can see that I've done something. Then there is classwork. So these are the assignments that I have set over last year. So they are grouped, and there is a due date. And when I go into that, I can see all my students lined up, and I can see who has submitted, who hasn't, and I can go into the direct assignment and mark it there. So I can also see who's in my class, and I can see, whoops, we don't really want that, do we? So I can see grades. So that is the idea of the Google Classroom. So your teachers will create the Google Classrooms, and they will be able to explain that, how they're going to use it. Okay? Easy and clean. Much nicer to navigate than ManageBac for actual teaching. Any more questions for that? No. Okay. Oh, how to register in a Google class. Your teacher will do that. So your teacher will send you the an email with the class code, and then you can access it from there. And hopefully all your teachers will be using it, but we will do a little bit of a review later on. Okay. So we're all quite excited because in a week's time, on the 14th, we might be able to actually see some of you in classrooms. You have been told, I think, that we can't have groups in class which are larger than 10, but we're hoping that that means we can do alternate little groups and then actually see you in person. That would be really nice. Right, so this has been recorded, so it will go up, but I think that it's probably easiest if you tell the others who haven't been in this session about ManageBac and recommend them to actually use that email and to create their password and sign up and explore a bit. You can't break anything, just click all the buttons you can find and see what's there, okay? Okay, that's all from me. So check your subject combinations, get in touch with me, visit me if you can, and then I shall.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.